DeWittDailyNews.com is the area's leading local news source 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Get the latest local news, obituaries, police blotter, weather forecast, and more with no paywall. Head to DeWittDailyNews.com to get the local information you need to know.
From the Heart Media Group newsroom and DeWittDailyNews.com, I'm Ben Hubbard with this expanded morning newscast. Good morning and thanks for being with us. I'm your host today, Ben Hubbard. The news is brought to you by Baum Chevy Buick in Clinton, your Silverado headquarters, as well as Connexus, offering fiber internet in Clinton. Click their icon on DeWittDailyNews.com to find out more. A group of dedicated community volunteers has been working diligently for months to offer a free and fun weekend to celebrate the 4th of July and America's 250th. Clinton Police Chief Ben Lowers says there's a single thing the community can do to support the hard work of these individuals, and that is simply show up.
First and foremost, I want to see them come out and support it. You know, these folks have put in a tremendous amount of their own time, you know, the volunteers, and they're always looking for more volunteers. So if you want to step up and serve your community in a volunteer way, reach out to these folks and offer your help. So first and foremost, come out and support it. You know, we hear so much, especially on social media, we just hear so much negativity, you know, and complaining about this or complaining about that. It's so easy to be a glass half empty. So when we have things like this and people coming together for positive things for our community, get out and support those. Bring the kids out. That's what they're doing it for. That's what they're expending their efforts for, is to provide this entertainment in our community. And so I'm happy for that. But come out, support the things. You know, like I say another time, be patient. You know, we hope we have a huge crowd, but be patient, be respectful of others. You know, I'm going to say I don't know that they have. It's their event, but if you have the ability, leave those dogs at home, you know, leave the pets. It's going to be hot, you know, a big crowd. Anytime we have a big crowd together, it just, you know, it's just a record. But come out and enjoy it. Come out and enjoy it. And quite frankly, reward the volunteers that have put their time and effort together. And they're not doing it for themselves, you know, and it can oftentimes be thankless. But and also the sponsors, you know, our businesses and our individuals that have sponsored this, they're doing this for our community. Well, let's come out as a community and show that support and appreciation for it.
According to the chief, preparations will kick off in the afternoon of Friday when the entire square closes to all vehicular traffic at 2 p.m. for vendor setup. The live entertainment schedule launches that evening at 6 p.m. with the band Blonderosa, followed by Brushville on the Mr. Lincoln Square.
I know a handful of them. I don't want to mention names because I certainly don't want to leave anybody out, but we met with them as the police department just last week to go over some road closure stuff, some extra security stuff, but they really have. They've done a great job at some fundraising and bringing together what I think is going to be a great 3-day celebration. July 3rd through the 5th, that Friday, Saturday, Sunday, starts off on Friday afternoon. On July 3rd, the entire square will close at 2 p.m. For vendor move-in and things like that. Activities getting moved in and set up for the weekend. 6 p.m. that night, we'll have the local talent of Blonderosa, followed up by one of my favorite local bands, Brushville, on Mr. Lincoln Stage. Then Saturday, July 4th, a lot going on. It's going to kick off at 8 a.m. with a 5K that I believe starts and finishes on the square. 10 a.m., there's going to be a parade. We're going to have a parade that starts basically in the area of Illini Drive in the First Baptist Church. We'll come east down there, starting at Illini onto Main Street and finish up at Quincy Street, just on the west side of the square. So looks like that's going to be a fun time and a lot of participation in the 250th parade there. So exciting times for that.
Chief Lowers reminds the holiday weekend will conclude as it traditionally does on the night of the 5th. Per standard city traditions, the community fireworks display is scheduled to launch at dusk, officially closing out the 2026 celebration.
A lot of things going on in the square that day and surrounding area, but then finish it off Saturday evening with a concert, 6 p.m., starting off with a Josh Holland band, followed by Out of Eden on Mr. Lincoln stage. And then on Sunday, July 5th, they'll wrap things up at 10 a.m. with a non-denominational church service at 10 a.m. on the square. Some music at 12 p.m. And then 4 to 7 p.m. that night, again, concert live music with local talent, Green Diamond Express.
And they're pretty good, I've heard.
Very good.
Yeah.
Very good. Great local talent there. Several of those folks I went to school with or, grew up with. And
really? Okay.
We like to watch them anytime they're in the area. But so some really good things going on, a ton of activity, as I'm assuming that at some point you either have or will have some of the folks from the committee. But can't give enough kudos to those folks that have come together, volunteering their time and their efforts to put this together. And I think they've done a great job. I'm excited. I've always said I love to see that square full of people, family fun events, things of this nature. So very much looking forward to that. Fireworks have typically for Clinton have been dusk on July 5th. So
sure.
I think that'll kind of conclude the weekend with a fireworks show. And
check out the Clinton Celebrates America's 250th Committee Facebook page for all the happenings for the weekend lineup. Representatives will be on the WHOW morning show this morning at 9 a.m. to give Heart Media Group listeners a full rundown of the weekend's festivities. Coming up shortly on this expanded newscast, Decatur Park District highlighting America 250 activities. The Monticello Police Department was involved in an early Tuesday morning high-speed pursuit that ultimately led to the arrest of a Tolono teen in Champaign County. Just after 2:20 a.m. on Tuesday, Monticello authorities attempted to pull over the driver of a silver Chevrolet sedan. However, the driver was uncooperative in the traffic stop, evading authorities and sped away, leaving the city in excess of 100 miles per hour. Authorities in Champaign County were notified and the vehicle was discovered in Tolono. The driver of the vehicle was arrested and identified as 18-year-old Travis McCarter, who was charged with aggravated fleeing and eluding, speeding, and unlawful possession of cannabis by a driver. McCarter was transported to the Piatt County Correction Center and released. His vehicle was impounded. Authorities remind all defendants are presumed innocent until proven guilty. No further details about the incident will be released. The Decatur Park District is joining in on the America 250 Fund this weekend. On the WHOW Morning Show Tuesday, Special Recreation and Public Relations Supervisor Ken Fry told the Heart Media Group that this Saturday, the Scoville Zoo will have free carousel rides, and the first 250 visitors will get a coupon for a free snow cone. The night will be capped off with live music at the Devon Lakeshore Amphitheater and fireworks over Lake Decatur.
The Park District is getting ready for the 4th of July. They have a lot of things going on that weekend. It's a big year, that 250th celebration. It's going to be a good thing. Well, the day of the 4th, which is a Saturday, the zoo itself is going to have free carousel rides, and the first 250 people that come in, get it, 250 celebration. Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah,
I get
a coupon for a snow cone that can be used that day or anytime in July.
How fun.
Yeah, so that'll be kind of fun to do. So a free snow cone treat, free carousel ride for free carousel for everybody that comes into the zoo. The first 250 get a free snow cone. And then Revel in Red, have you heard of them? It's a local Central Illinois band, do the 70s, 80s, 90s rock kind of show.
Okay.
And I guess they're a lot of fun. And they'll be at the Devon Amphitheater at 6 p.m. with the fireworks starting at dusk. So those who go to the concert can just stay in their seats at the Devon and watch the fireworks over the lake for that. And the Park District put in more money this year to kind of pop up the firework display, and so it'll be fun to see what happens.
Fry notes that attractions like Splash Cove and the Overlook mini golf course will also be open that day. He says they keep them operating for those who are looking for fun on their day off from work.
Okay. Splash Cove, the water park is going to be open 12 to 6. Overlook is open 10 to 7 that day. If you want your ice cream fix, over the top ice cream is 1 to 9. Once you open up in the spring, you're open all season long. Yeah, and that's because people have the day off. They want to go to the zoo, or they want to have a splash park, or they want to go mini golfing. And that's so you got to be open for those. So yeah, I know it's going to not be as hot, and with the heat warnings, they are finally dissolving off Friday at midnight. I guess that's what I heard, or Thursday night at midnight. And so hopefully that it'll be a little cooler, a little maybe just average summer temperatures instead of wicked summer temperatures, out there. And so just go see a concert, go see the zoo, go get an ice cream cone, go get a snow cone at the zoo. Yeah, so it'll be a fun day.
Fry notes that entry to all of the Park District's attractions will stay at the typical admission prices. Learn more at decatur-parks.org or find them on Facebook. You're listening to the WHOW Morning Show. Let's take a quick break with a word from our sponsors.
Baum Chevrolet Buick offers full transportation options while giving you peace of mind. This is Scott Baum from Baum Chevrolet Buick here in Clinton. This is what we do every day. We listen to you, give you options for routine maintenance, major mechanical problems, or collision repairs with a staff that's knowledgeable to find the best option for you. Baum Chevrolet Buick, your full service dealer. See us at baumchevybuick.com right from the start.
It's the quiet moments you count on. A call that connects instantly, a show that never buffers, a home that just works. That's the difference with Connexus Fiber Internet. We built a buried fiber network designed for consistency, earning us the title of top-rated fiber internet provider in Illinois. With plans starting as low as $25 a month and 3-year price lock options, it's reliability you can feel without the unpredictability. Because with Connexus, connection means everything. Experience better at Connexus.com. Nothing connects us like Connexus.
News time is 20 minutes after the top of the hour. You're listening to the WHOW Morning Show. The McLean County Museum of History is offering opportunities to learn about local history outside of the walls of the old courthouse. Senior Director of Education Candace Summers told the Hart Media Group that there are several more walking and bus tours available for this summer. The first is the Looking for Lincoln Downtown Bloomington walking tour on July 16th.
Yeah, so we have several more ticketed tours, walking tours, bus tours coming up this summer. So on July 16th, we will have our first Looking for Lincoln in Downtown Bloomington walking tour, where your guide, Norris Porter, who's our Director of Development, will be showing people where Lincoln walked in downtown Bloomington. Tell people about his friends and associates who helped get him nominated for President of the United States. Share stories about his time and career here in Bloomington Normal. It'll be really a fascinating tour. Bloomington is probably the second most place where Lincoln spent the most time outside of his home in Springfield. And his roots and his legacy run deep in McLean County. Mm-hmm. Tickets for non-members are $15, and tickets for members of the museum are $12, and you can buy those online.
On August 1st, visitors can travel to the Illinois State University Quad to learn about the institution's history. Summers will also be leading an architecture tour through downtown Bloomington on August 20th, diving into the history of the buildings and their builders.
We also have another downtown Bloomington architecture tour coming up on August 20th with yours truly and one of our excellent volunteers, Virgil Hovar. And that will explore the built environment of downtown Bloomington, where we'll talk about not just the architectural history of the buildings that are gone, also the history behind the buildings that are still standing. So many stories to share on that tour as we explore downtown Bloomington. Mm-hmm. Tickets aren't on sale for that one yet, but they will be soon, and you can get that information on our website. We did 3 architecture tours last year because they were so popular. Mm-hmm. And this year, because we got feedback from visitors, they wanted more of this type. We're like, all right, we can do more. So we've had 1 architecture tour already. We've got the 3 Lincoln tours coming up starting on July 16th. We have our tour of Illinois State University's quad coming up on August 1st, where that will explore the history of the quad and explore issues of racial segregation, social movements on campus. You'll learn about the trees on campus, so much more, all focused on ISU. And that's a box lunch program on August 1st.
Those who prefer riding over walking should take note of the museum's bus trips, like Get Your Farm Kicks on Route 66. She says this tour will not only hit on ag, but will put a focus on the Route 66 Centennial as well.
We also have our Get Your Farm Kicks on Route 66 ag bus trip. Good friend of the museum, Don Meyer, is back again to help lead this tour, where we're not just going to learn ag history along Route 66, but because it's the centennial of Route 66, we'll also be learning about some Route 66 history along the way. So we're going to explore Bloomington to Towanda and all the way up north to Chenoa and Lexington, and pointing out a lot of the fascinating sites like rural schools, one-room schoolhouses, the Black Hawk War Stockade, historic sites in Lexington, including Patton's Cabin, the Van Dolen Castle, and then drive down memory lane, the Matthew T. Scott House in Chenoa, and so many places in between. Tickets are on sale for that. They're $50 for members of the museum and the McLean County Farm Bureau, or $55 for non-members. We only have 16 tickets left, so you don't want to miss this bus trip with Don and me along Route 66. And then, of course, the bus trips have always been popular. So every year we go, when are you going to do another bus trip? When are you going to? And we can't get them in every year, but we were able to get one in this year because it kind of hits both check marks, Route 66 Centennial and America 250, because this nation was founded on ag and farming. And without it, what would we be?
We'll have more with Summers this weekend from the Heart Media Group on an America 250 themed art piece. In the meantime, learn more about all of these events at mchistory.org/events or by finding the museum on Facebook. The Abraham Lincoln Presidential Library and Museum is joining communities across the country in celebrating America's 250th birthday with a day-long block party and free museum admission on Saturday, July 4th in Springfield. The celebration begins at 9 a.m. with free admission to the museum, giving visitors access to its exhibits and attractions, including the new special exhibition, The Second American Revolution. The exhibit explores how the Civil War and Reconstruction reshaped the nation and features historic artifacts, including the pen Abraham Lincoln used to sign the Emancipation Proclamation and a copy of the 13th Amendment signed by Lincoln and congressional allies who helped abolish slavery. The outdoor festivities start at 3 p.m. in Union Square Park, directly across from the museum at 212 North 6th Street. Families are invited to take part in a Kids and Pets Parade at 3:30 p.m. with decorated wagons, strollers, children, and pets encouraged to join the fun. Additional activities will run from 3 to 7 p.m., including bubble and foam experiences from Foam and Flight, while food trucks offer drinks and classic American favorites throughout the afternoon. Free live music begins at 4:15 p.m. with a performance by the 33rd Illinois Volunteer Regiment Band, an authentic recreation of a Civil War-era military band, complete with period uniforms and instruments. The evening's featured performance starts at 6 p.m. when Chicago's acclaimed Third Coast Brass takes the stage. The Symphonic Brass Ensemble is known for combining traditional brass music with contemporary programming and features some of the region's top musicians. Organizers say the event is Springfield's contribution to America's Ultimate Block Party, a nationwide effort tied to the America 250 commemoration, marking the nation's upcoming 250th anniversary. The festivities are expected to conclude in time for attendees to enjoy local Independence Day fireworks celebrations. With the hottest stretch of summer upon us, a statewide nonprofit is imploring the public to stay hydrated and keep tabs on your body's response to the extreme heat. The American Red Cross of Illinois is reminding residents to take precautions as dangerously high temperatures move into the region this week. Health advocates say extreme heat can be dangerous for anyone, and they're encouraging everyone to remember 3 important steps: stay hydrated, stay cool, and stay connected. The Red Cross recommends drinking water regularly and is urging residents to drink about a cup every 20 minutes, even if you don't feel thirsty. People should avoid sugary, caffeinated, and alcoholic beverages, and parents should make sure babies are being fed often. Signs of dehydration can include fewer wet diapers or darker urine. Residents are also encouraged to stay cool by spending time in air-conditioned locations. If your home is too warm, consider visiting places like a mall, library, or cooling center. Get news anytime at DeWittDailyNews.com.
With SRN News, I'm Rich Thomason in Washington. A Democratic socialist beats a 30-year incumbent in Colorado's Democratic primary for the U.S. House, 1st District. 29-year-old former attorney Milat Quiros beat veteran Congresswoman Diana DeGette. 2 self-described Democratic socialists and a progressive won their Democratic primaries in New York just last week. As the nation celebrates its 250th birthday, the legislative branch has called it quits for now. House leadership abruptly canceling yesterday's votes, sending lawmakers home early. Speaker Mike Johnson's majority once again gridlocked by rebellious Republicans rejecting their own party's agenda. President Trump says Republicans will hold their first ever national convention ahead of a midterm election. That convention to take place in Dallas, September 9th and 10th. On Wall Street, the Dow futures 94 points in the red. More details, srnnews.com.
Are you carrying more than $10,000 in credit card debt? Do you feel like you're running on a financial treadmill, making payment after payment, month after month, yet never getting ahead? If you're tired of watching your hard-earned money disappear into interest charges, there may be options available to help you take back control of your finances. At Total Financial Freedom, they'll show you what qualified consumers may be able to save through programs designed to help them resolve debt faster than making minimum payments alone. The consultation is free, confidential, and comes with absolutely no obligation. Why spend years, sometimes decades, paying thousands in interest when there may be a better path forward? Total Financial Freedom is a Christian-owned company that has helped thousands of Americans pursue financial freedom for nearly 20 years and is proudly A+ rated and accredited by the Better Business Bureau. Call now and ask how you can receive a complimentary copy of The Debt Dietitian. Stop running in place. Start moving toward financial freedom at 866-744-7344. 866-744-7344.
From the Hart Media Group Sports Desk, IL Sports Wire, and DeWittDailyNews.com, I'm Ben Hubbard with this local sports report. The Springfield Lucky Horseshoes battled back to within 2 runs through 6 innings, but a 6-run 8th inning proved to be the difference as the Rex pulled away for a 12-4 victory on Monday night. Springfield collected 7 hits and remained within striking distance for much of the contest before the visitors broke the game open late with timely hitting and capitalized on several opportunities to put the game out of reach. The Lucky Horseshoes wasted little time getting on the scoreboard in the opening inning. Cannon Kirk doubled and later scored when Tanae Vallas lined an RBI single to center field, giving Springfield an early 1-0 advantage. The Rex answered in the second inning as Carter Murphy crossed the plate on a balk to even the score at 1-1. An inning later, the visitors took control. Giordani Mendoza scored on a Springfield fielding error before another defensive miscue allowed Ren Harper to cross the plate. extending the Rex's lead to 3-1, despite neither run being earned. Springfield trimmed the deficit in the fourth inning when Ethan Burkhart delivered an RBI single up the middle, scoring Griffin Novacek to make it a one-run game. The Rex responded in the fifth with Nomar Garcia's RBI double to center field, restoring a two-run cushion at 4-2. After Nazir Bergen drove home another run with a sac fly in the sixth inning, Springfield answered immediately. Wandel Campana connected on a solo home run to right center field, cutting the deficit to 5-3 and providing life for the Lucky Horseshoes heading into the late innings. Unfortunately for Springfield, the eighth inning belonged entirely to the visitors. The Rex erupted for 6 runs in the frame, beginning with Carter Murphy scoring on a wild pitch before another wild pitch plated Joseph Gutierrez. Bergen followed with a ground rule RBI double. Bryson Carpenter added an RBI single, and Garcia capped the rally with another RBI double as the lead ballooned to 11-3. The Lucky Horseshoes scratched across one final run in the bottom half of the inning when Vallas recorded his second RBI single of the night, bringing home Cannon Kirk to make it 11-4. The Rex added one final insurance run in the ninth as Joseph Gutierrez scored on another wild pitch, closing out the scoring at 12-4. Kirk led Springfield offensively, finishing 2 for 4 with a double and 2 runs scored. Vallas also turned in a strong performance, collecting 2 hits and driving in a pair of runs. Campana added a solo home run and finished with 2 hits, while Burkhart contributed an RBI single. On the mound, Springfield pieced together the game with 4 pitchers. Starter Richie Snyder allowed 1 earned run over 2.1 innings before Hayden Steelman kept the Lucky Horseshoes within striking distance through the middle innings, surrendering just 2 runs over 4.2 innings while striking out 4. Nick Sullivan and Jack Olson handled the late innings as the Rex broke the game open during the decisive 8th. Despite trailing for much of the evening, Springfield remained within reach until the late innings. However, the Rex's explosive 7-run 8th inning proved to be the turning point, allowing the visitors to pull away and hand the Lucky Horseshoes the 12-4 defeat. Colson Montgomery and Junior Perez homered during Chicago's 7-run 3rd inning, and the Chicago White Sox pounded the Baltimore Orioles 9-3 on Tuesday night.
One day after snapping a 9-game losing streak at the hands of the Orioles, the White Sox started a streak of their own, jumping the O's for a 7th spot in the 3rd with a 2-run double by Jacob Gonzalez, sandwiched in between a couple long balls by Colson Montgomery and Junior Perez.
Montgomery hits a high fly ball to right, and that baby will go out on the Utah street. Junior Perez with a deep fly ball, right center field, way back there, and it's gone. It's a 3-run homer.
9-3 winner as the Southsiders go for the sweep early Wednesday afternoon before heading off to Cleveland for a huge 4-game series over the holiday weekend. I'm Jeff Meller, and I'll have your pregame coverage starting at 11 a.m. on the ESPN 1000 Hard Rock Casino White Sox Network.
The Sox kick off a weekend series with the Cleveland Guardians on Friday after wrapping up the Orioles series this afternoon. Nathan Church hit a 3-run homer. Nelson Velasquez added a solo shot, and Matthew Liberatore threw 5 strong innings as the St. Louis Cardinals beat the NL East leading Atlanta Braves 5-3 on Tuesday night. Velasquez started a 4-run 4th inning with his 3rd homer of the year, a 444-foot shot to center field that tied the game at 1. Church followed later in the inning with his 6th homer of the season, a 3-run shot to increase the lead to 4-1. Liberatore is 4-5 and struck out 9 and allowed 1 run on 1 hit. Coming into the game, Liberatore had a 10.34 ERA in the month of June. Riley O'Brien pitched a scoreless 9th and earned his 21st save of the season. Jordan capped the scoring for St. Louis with a sac fly to right field that scored Mason Wynn in the top of the 6th. Martin Perez is 6-5 and allowed 4 runs and 5 hits in 5 innings for Atlanta. Ozzie Albies, who leads the Braves in RBIs this month with 17, drove in 2 runs. He had a sacrifice fly in the 3rd and an RBI single in the 7th. Despite loading the bases in the 8th, Mauricio Dubon was the only Braves player to score, doing so on a wild pitch. Drake Baldwin snapped an 0-for-36 slump with a single in the 7th. Atlanta went 1-for-10 with runners in scoring position and left 10 on base against the Cardinals. The Braves are 49-34 and have lost 13 of their last 17 games and have a 2.5-game lead over the Philadelphia Phillies in the division. Atlanta right-hander Ronaldo Lopez is 3-1 with a 3.47 ERA and faces St. Louis right-hander Michael McGreevy, who is 3-6 with a 3.12 ERA in the second game of the series on Wednesday. Dansby Swanson hit 2 of Chicago's 5 home runs, and the Chicago Cubs held on for their 4th straight victory, 9-7 over the San Diego Padres on Tuesday night. Alex Bregman, Michael Busch, and Pete Crow Armstrong added homers to help the Cubs win for the 10th time in 12 games. Fernando Tatis Jr. hit 2 home runs, and Matty Machado and Gavin Sheets also went deep as San Diego dropped its 4th straight after a 4-game winning streak. Swanson hit a solo home run off J.P. Sears, who is 1-1, in the 2nd inning to give the Cubs the lead for good, then added a 2-run shot off Ron Marinaccio in the 5th. He finished 3-for-4 with a second multi-homer game in less than a week. He hit 2 in the opening game off a doubleheader at the New York Mets on June 24th. Javier Assad gave up Sheets' 3-run homer and Tatis his 2nd solo shot in the 8th to make it a 2-run game, but the Padres couldn't get closer. Ryan Rollison got the final out for his first save. Matthew Boyd is 3-1 and gave up both San Diego homers in the first 5 innings and surrendered 3 runs and 8 hits while striking out 2. Tatis led off and knocked Boyd's 5th pitch over the left field bleachers onto Waveland Avenue before Chicago answered in the bottom of the inning when Seiya Suzuki scored on Carson Kelly's RBI single. Bregman came up at 2 spots after Swanson and hit a 3-run homer in the 2nd. Machado drove in 2 with his 16th home run in the 3rd. Busch hit a solo shot, and Ian Happ singled to Chase Sears in the 5th, and Swanson greeted Marinaccio with his 13th home run. Crow Armstrong added his 18th of the year and 11th in the month of June, an inning later. Sears, making his 2nd start of the season, gave up 8 hits, including Chicago's first 3 homers, and 6 earned runs while walking 3 and striking out 4. It was 92 degrees with a 19-mile-per-hour wind blowing at the first pitch for a game in which the teams combined 26 hits and 9 homers. San Diego's Walker Buehler is 5-3 with a 3.18 ERA and faces fellow right-hander Colin Rea, who is 5-5 with a 4.80 ERA in Wednesday afternoon's series finale. In scores from around the MLB yesterday, the Philadelphia Phillies shut out the Pittsburgh Pirates 8-0, while the Texas Rangers beat the Cleveland Guardians 4-2. The Detroit Tigers took down the New York Yankees 9-3, while the New York Mets shut out the Toronto Blue Jays 3-0. The Washington Nationals routed the Boston Red Sox 8-1, while the Milwaukee Brewers took down the Cincinnati Reds 7-2. The Tampa Bay Rays took care of the Kansas City Royals 10-4, while the Houston Astros beat the Minnesota Twins 6-4. The Miami Marlins romped the Colorado Rockies 14-3, while the Seattle Mariners beat the Los Angeles Angels 8-3. The Los Angeles Dodgers took down the Athletics 9-3, while the Arizona Diamondbacks beat the San Francisco Giants 8-2. Get highlights of your local high school program by finding IL SportsWire on your preferred social media platforms, and get local sports anytime at DeWittDailyNews.com.
This is staff meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki with your regional radio forecast. Ample sunshine expected today with daytime highs approaching 93. Southwesterly winds 8 to 15 miles per hour. Lows dip down to about 75. Tonight, clear skies. Ample sunshine expected tomorrow. High temperatures reach up to 93. Hear weather twice an hour or online anytime at DeWittDailyNews.com. Currently 77.
Let's check Ag News on the RFD Radio Network. I'm DeLawes Yonke. According to a release from the governor's office, Governor J.B. Pritzker yesterday issued a state disaster proclamation following months of severe weather and flooding that caused widespread damage